What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Knowledge Round, where every single week we answer your questions here live on the show. So any questions that you have, send those to joshua@gsdmode.com. Shoot me an email. That's my private email. Every single week I scan and look through all of the emails. Any email that I feel I have expertise in, that I feel I can serve and support you by answering, we answer here live on the show. These are published on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, so they're blasted all over the place. So if you want to be featured on the show with me answering your questions, again, send that question to joshua@gsdmode.com. So today's question comes from Canada, Ontario, Canada, from William. So the question is this: is there a way a new realtor can farm a neighborhood on a shoestring budget? Which I love this question, dude. I don't believe, at least in real estate, that it takes money to make money. I think it's one of the biggest myths out there, and is one of those limiting beliefs that we plant in our mindset that hinder a lot of careers, right? Or we feel that we've got to do it. We go out there and we throw it in a credit card. We put ourselves into a financial debt, which the pressure of that burdens us to the point where we got to go to a part-time job, and that turns into a full-time job, and again hinders our career. So first off, dude, you do not need to spend money to make money. I would do everything you possibly could to spend as close to zero as you possibly can in this business. Invest any money that you have into systems, into people. You don't need to spend money necessarily on marketing unless you're not willing to get out there and get your hustle muscle on, dude. If you're willing to get out there and hustle, pound the pavement, you don't need it. So if let's just say I moved to where you're at up today in Ontario. Go into your marketplace right now. What am I going to start doing? I know this gets old because I talk about this shit all the time, but I'm going to start doing mega open houses. I'm going to start doing open houses every single day that I don't have a buyer in my car or I don't have a listing appointment. I'm doing them every single day. And this, you guys, this isn't just theory. This is exactly how I built my business. To a T, right? And we still do it. Like this is 48% of my business still comes from open houses. So I'm going to get as many signs as I possibly can. Now, shoestring budget. When I got in the business, dude, I was broke. You guys got to understand, a year before I got in the business, I was freaking living in my car. I was homeless, right? So I had nothing, dude. So I didn't have money to go and invest. So what did I just start doing? I just borrowed. Dude, anybody in the office that wasn't doing an open house, I begged and borrowed to steal signs. It was Century 21 at the time. And a lot of times I had mismatched signs. So I might have been able to borrow 6 or 8, but they'd be different agents, right? But I just thought, okay, if they say Century 21 and the arrow's pointing in the right direction, I'm good, right? So just went out there, got those. Start with what you have, play red light, green light. Don't spend money you don't have. You don't have to go out there and do mega open houses with 30, 40, 50, 100 signs if you don't have the financial means. Here's what you must do, though. Anything that I'm doing, no matter what scale of it, the fundamentals don't change. The scalability of it may change, but the fundamentals never change. So I'm always going to do an activity. I'm going to do an activity to get a human being in whatever area that I want to target, either a human being that lives in that area or a human being that may be moving to that area. I want to get them into my world, and which means into my list. So I'm going to figure out a way to capture their information, to get them into my database. I'm going to capture the information to get them into my Facebook page. I'm going to capture the information so I can follow up frequently with them. The fortune is in the follow-up. Dude, 1, 2, maybe 5% if you're lucky of the people that you meet immediately will do business with you right then and there. The fortune is always in the follow-up, right? So I'm going to do my open house, but then very, very important, I'm going to have a sign on the front of that door, in front of the house that says, per sellers request, please sign in. So right when they walk in, then I'm going to have a setup table where it kind of blocks their obstruction. Right there, they have to sign in with their contact information. I'm going to get diligent on that, make sure I get everybody's contact information. Why? Because once I have the contact information, they're in my world and I can follow up. So I'm going to go start building my list that way. So open houses, dude, slay it. The other thing I'm going to do is what's called circle prospecting. So I'm going to go out there and find each home that closes in that neighborhood. What I'm going to go do is I'm going to door knock the closest 100 homes, or as many as I possibly can on a daily basis, to that property that just closed. I'm going to introduce myself. Hey, Joshua Smith, ABC Real Estate. Just so you know, this is not a sales visit. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to bombard you with anything. I'm just here to give you value and update you on what's going on in the marketplace. Your neighbor's house just sold. This is what's going on in the marketplace. Their house sold in this many days at this price per square foot, which puts your house roughly about this, right? Like, you might not know the exact square footage of their house when you're door knocking, but you'd be able to tell them a price per square foot. They can give you that, and you can calculate it. But then I'm going to go there with stuff in my hands of information. And I don't care if it's black and white. If you're on a shoestring budget and you've got to get black and white stuff just printed at the brokerage office, excuse me, a little water break. All right. So anyway, I don't care what it looks like. Dude, when I started, like a lot of my door hangers and stuff, I couldn't afford door hangers, so I would just every single morning I was stapling rubber bands because I could afford a Staples and I could afford a rubber band and I could afford to print a black and white copy in my office, which really cost me nothing to go do that. So I don't care what you're giving there, how it looks, just give them something of value. Stats on the neighborhood or in the property, whatever. And then you want to offer them something, again, of more value to get them into your list. So I'm going to circle prospect. I'm going to let them know what just happened with their neighbor's house, the stats on that. I'm going to let them know what's going on in their neighborhood. I'm going to give them something of value that shows what's going on in their neighborhood, maybe in the last 90 days, everything that's going on in their neighborhood. Of course, on there is going to be websites to drive them in, some information about me. 2/3 of it, though, is going to be about the neighborhood, the last 1/3 about me. But then I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to try to get their information to put it in this bad boy right here. Difference between offense on defense. When I just hand you a business card, I'm on defense. Now I'm waiting for you. I'm hoping and praying that you call me. Well, I pray in my life too, but I'm not going to pray about my business being successful, right? I'm going to go out there and make that happen. The only way to make that happen, dude, is to be on offense at all times. So instead of giving you a business card, it'd be like this. If you ask me for a business card, oh, dude, sorry, I just ran out. Let me do this. What's your number? I'll text you right now my information, right? Oh, also, are you on Facebook? So I'm going to text them my information, try to get a Facebook friend request right there. Why? Because now I've got them in my world. I got the information I need to take action and to go do what I got to do. So I would offer something of value, something like this, dude. Offer monthly free CMA reports. Hey, one of the services that we offer is we send out monthly free CMA reports to all the homeowners that are in our database. So just like, for example, every single month you might get a report from your stockbroker that just tells you what's going on with your assets. Well, your home is the number one largest asset that you own. It would kind of make sense to get a monthly update on what's going on with that. There's no hassle. There's no obligation. There's no strings attached to this. All we hope for is if at some point in the future, I know you're not looking at selling right now, but if at some point in the future, if you ever choose to sell or you're ever thinking about selling, all I ask is that hopefully you see the value in what I've been providing, that you at least give me an opportunity to interview for the job. I'm not asking for the business, just an opportunity to interview for the job to show you what I do. And if you feel that I'm the best fit for you, to help you accomplish your goals, then we can move forward from there. If not, that's okay too. So again, there's no hassle, there's no obligation, there's no strings attached. This is 100% free. I'm not going to send you a bunch of spam. This is just information. I'm going to do whatever I can to get them into my world. So those are really the two biggest things that I'm going to do. Other than, in addition to that, just making sure, okay, if there's any neighborhood block parties, if you have HOAs in your area and you can go start visiting those, wear your name badges. I'm just going to make sure that I'm involved in that community. The best geographical farmers on the planet that you'll meet, it's like 25% marketing, 75% prospecting and their involvement in the community, right? A lot of people think, oh, well, it's just a mail piece I'm going to send out. No, dude, that's such a small percentage of it. It's physically being involved in the community, showing the community members that you care about them. Another way thing to do, and I know I'm kind of going long here, throwing a lot of ideas here, but I want to go in depth on this because I know where you're at. I know how difficult it is to get started and how difficult it is to find great information when you get started. Create a Facebook group for that, or a Facebook page for that community, right? Like, these communities and a lot of these cities do such a shitty job at providing the general public with information. So maybe you do your own Facebook fan page for that community. You don't make it about real estate. Dude, that's the worst thing that you can do is make it about you and about real estate. It's just give. But through that and through some of your posts, they're going to know that you're in real estate. They're going to know who you are. But I might give updated information. Hey guys, don't forget we have an updated community garage sale going on this weekend. Make sure you're there. Interview local business owners that are in the area and upload those videos onto that page. Make that page about the community where they go in there and get information that the HOA in the city is failing to provide them, and wrap them in, and you become that hyper local expert where they can't not see your stuff. So if you do a good job, you get them into your world. Now all of a sudden they're seeing 2-3 email communications from you a week. You get them into your Facebook world. They're seeing a ton of posts from you. You get them into a Facebook private group or a Facebook fan page. They're seeing those posts. Plus, if you're doing open houses every single week in those areas too, they can't go one single weekend without seeing your signs in that area. And before you know it, dude, you're like that freaking octopus that just took over that subdivision. So you can do this, and if you follow these strategies, like for example, we just dominated a subdivision 6 weeks, almost 20% market share by doing exactly this. Our plan is always when we enter a new subdivision, 90 days, 30% market share, literally just by doing a few of these things. And you can do them on no budget, or, and again, you can scale it up as you have a budget with them. So anyway, hope that helps, dude. Sorry to go long in this video, but I didn't want to give you some fluff, not in-depth answer. So, hey, you guys, If you have any questions that you want answered on a show just like this, just like Williams from Canada that we answered here today, send me an email, joshua@gsdmode.com. If I feel that I have expertise, if I feel I can serve and support you by answering those questions, we answer them here live on the show. This is put on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube, so it's blasted out there. So if you want to come hang out with me on the show, if you want to be featured on the show, just like William from Canada today, send your questions in, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. You guys have an awesome day. Go dominate. Peace out, and we'll talk soon.